The woman stealing my Amazon packages had no idea the last box sitting on my porch was filled with 10,000 live crickets, and the second she ripped it open inside her kitchen, the screaming was so loud neighbors came outside thinking somebody had crashed a car into the building, and the craziest part was I had the entire thing recorded perfectly on camera. My name is Ryan Mercer, and until this happened, I honestly thought package thieves were something that only happened in viral videos. Online. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood where people wave politely while mowing lawns and pretend everything is peaceful, even when drama is happening behind every closed door. For almost 6 years, I never had a single package disappear. Then, Karen moved in across the street. Her real name was Melissa Davenport, but nobody called her that because within 2 months she had already argued with delivery drivers, complained about kids riding bikes too loudly, and accused 3 different neighbors of spying on her with security cameras. Before this story gets completely insane, make sure to like and subscribe to Karen Stories Daily, because what happened to this porch pirate still makes me laugh every single time I think about it. At first, did not suspect her. My first missing package seemed like a normal delivery mistake, then another package vanished 3 days later, then another. Each time the tracking showed delivered, each time the package disappeared within minutes, I contacted Amazon customer service, so often they probably thought I was running some kind of scam operation. Eventually, I installed a small doorbell camera, hoping to catch whoever kept stealing from my porch, and honestly, I expected some random teenager or passing thief, not the middle-aged HOA-obsessed woman living directly across the street. The first video shocked me completely. Melissa walked casually across the road while pretending to talk on her phone, picked up my package, looked around once, and calmly carried it back inside her garage like she was bringing home groceries. No panic, no hesitation, nothing. Like she had done it before many times. I stood there staring at the footage thinking, there is no way this woman is actually stealing my deliveries. In broad daylight, so I confronted her politely. I walked across the street, showed her the video, and gave her a chance to explain. Instead, she crossed her arms and claimed she was protecting the package from possible weather damaging. A perfectly clear afternoon with no clouds in sight. Then she said she forgot to return it, which would maybe sound believable if the box had not already been opened. I asked for the missing contents, and suddenly she became defensive, accusing me of harassment for confronting her at home. That was the moment I realized normal conversations were not going to solve this. Over the next month, 2 more packages disappeared. Every time it was her, every time caught on camera, and every time she created some ridiculous excuse. One package was apparently suspicious and needed neighborhood inspection. Another was supposedly delivered too close to her side of the sidewalk. At that point, even the local delivery drivers knew something strange was happening. One driver quietly told me several neighbors had complained about missing deliveries since Melissa moved in, but nobody had solid proof before the cameras. I considered filing a police report immediately. But honestly, I wanted undeniable evidence first, because Melissa was exactly the kind of person who would somehow turn herself into the victim. Then one evening, while joking with my friend Tyler over dinner, he laughed and said, "You should leave her a box full of crickets." We both laughed for about 10 seconds, then I slowly stopped laughing because suddenly the idea sounded perfect. Now, before anyone gets dramatic, these were feeder crickets from a licensed pet supplier, completely harmless, commonly used for reptiles and safely contained for transport. No dangerous insects, no chemicals, no traps, nothing harmful, just thousands of loud jumping crickets inside a secure ventilated box designed to burst open when the lid lifted fully. And the more I thought about it, the more the plan felt like the perfect way to finally expose Melissa publicly without hurting anyone. So I prepared carefully. I ordered a large shipping box, added harmless packing paper, placed a hidden camera angle facing my porch, and inside the box sat containers holding what sounded like an entire jungle worth of chirping crickets. Even hearing them inside my garage at night sounded ridiculous. The next step was waiting, and honestly, that waiting period became strangely intense because every afternoon I found myself watching notifications from my camera, hoping today would be the day. 3 days passed. Nothing. Then on Thursday afternoon, a fake delivery notification popped onto my phone because I had scheduled the Decoy drop myself. The box sat perfectly on my porch, visible from the street, and less than 7 minutes later, Melissa appeared. She looked around casually, pretending to check her mail, then crossed directly toward my front steps. The camera caught everything perfectly. She grabbed the box, smiled slightly like she had just won free shopping, and carried it back across the road into her house. At that point, I honestly almost felt nervous for her because she had absolutely no idea what was about to happen. About 4 minutes later, the screaming started. Not normal surprise screaming, pure horror movie screaming, the kind of screaming that makes people stop mowing lawns. I looked outside and saw Melissa burst through her back door, flailing her arms wildly while crickets exploded across her kitchen floor and patio. Thousands of tiny jumping insects scattered everywhere. Some bounced into bushes. Some covered the patio furniture. One somehow landed directly on her shoulder, causing another round of screaming loud enough for nearby neighbors to come outside. Immediately, I am not exaggerating when I say the entire street froze, trying to process what they were seeing. Meanwhile, my camera recorded everything perfectly, including the moment Melissa realized the box had been intentionally prepared. She stood there, surrounded by chirping chaos, staring directly toward my house with absolute disbelief on her face, and honestly, that should have been the end of it. But Melissa somehow made the situation even worse for herself. Instead of admitting she stole the package, she called the police, claiming somebody targeted her maliciously with insects. The responding officers arrived, looked at the footage from my porch camera, and immediately understood exactly what happened. One officer actually asked the simplest question possible: why were you opening someone else's package inside your house? Melissa tried explaining she was protecting neighborhood deliveries again, but this time nobody believed her because the footage clearly showed repeated theft behavior over multiple incidents. The officer asked if she had permission to remove packages from my property. She had no answer. Then neighbors started stepping forward, describing their own missing deliveries over previous months. Suddenly, this was no longer one weird incident. It became a pattern. And standing there while crickets still chirped from nearby flower beds, Melissa finally realized she had completely trapped herself. The police documented everything and advised several neighbors to file official theft reports connected to prior incidents by evening. The entire neighborhood social page exploded with discussion. Some people focused on the package thefts, others focused on the crickets, and honestly, most people could not stop laughing at how unbelievably absurd the entire situation looked on camera. Especially the moment Melissa ran through her backyard while shaking crickets out of her hair. That clip spread faster than anything our neighborhood had ever seen. Even delivery drivers started joking about it during drop-offs. One guy literally asked me if the cricket security system was still active. Meanwhile, Melissa completely disappeared from neighborhood conversations for almost 2 weeks. No HOA complaints, no arguments, no spying, accusations, nothing, just silence. And for the first time since she moved in, packages started staying safely on porches again without disappearing mysteriously every afternoon, because apparently all it took to stop a serial porch pirate was one unforgettable delivery she absolutely should not have opened in the first place. A few weeks later, Melissa quietly stopped taking packages completely and even avoided eye contact with most neighbors after the cricket incident became local legend. People still joked about hearing random cricket sounds near her patio every time someone mentioned Amazon deliveries. The funniest part was delivery drivers suddenly trusted leaving packages outside again because nobody wanted to risk opening another mystery box from my porch. Even now, neighbors laugh whenever somebody says special delivery because everybody instantly remembers the day 10,000 crickets destroyed one Karen's package stealing career. If you enjoyed this story from Karen Stories Daily, then subscribe and comment below and tell me what you would have put inside the decoy box.